G'day guys, Josh here. Well, I'm gonna say there's not been many changes to this game so far. Obviously, of course, with the Slay update coming out, obviously, like really, Legendaries being made easier, forums going to Discord, and a lot of all that other stuff that we described in last video. Now, it's just been a pretty ordinary week this week. There hasn't been too many changes at all. Let's just slap it up and let's just get into the bosses, shall we? Okay. Now, let's just see how Saturday's rocking today. And I gotta say, well, you can tell the Chinese gold sells now, given they use WeChat. But you can see here, there's a bit of some gold selling going on, and you can see here as well. I think some card runs are going as well. Let's check Voltan as well. Voltan, the bus is going now for hard mode, and a few drivers as well on hard mode, and also you can see some hard modes on Vicus as well. And you can see here as well. So I think that a lot of the bosses are coming back. You know, older people coming back, getting gold from obviously the people who coming into Vicus and obviously not taking the gold awards either. Now Kukulsidon as well, you know, same deal as well. People, you know, doing boxes yours, etc. And you can do a full AFK for 21k. Damn, semi AFK. I like the semi AFK buses as well. Like, it's kind of interesting. Now next up we got the obviously out Belshazzar. Now we got a few buses are coming down for Belshazzar. Actually, I mean, who would do a 10k plus? I mean, it's cheaper to get a Belshazzar bus than to get a Kukulsidon bus, which is fairly interesting. Okay, and well, I guess eventually it's gonna become like GDKPs and WoW, where basically there's gonna be drivers and like they have a Discord for drivers and people want to take a bus. But as you can see here, a lot of people are progressing and a lot of people at the same time are doing buses and stuff like that. I mean, a 3k bus for a 1 to 2 is pretty alright as well. Pretty good to see. And like I say, that's enough for the busing for the moment. Next up, we're gonna go into the Mari store, so it takes a quick time to load up. Now, Mari store overall, I probably expect the blue crystals to drop back a bit, and that's exactly what they've done. They're hovering around that 2k mark, and I feel like that 2k mark, as I said, I think about 2 to 3 videos ago, that is just going to hang there. It's probably the new stable point. You know, it's going to be where it's going to be around. Like, you should probably ascertain that blue crystals is probably going to be 2k per 95 blue crystals from now on. Just an FYI, I think that's where you're going to stick it to. I don't see any reason why it should go up or go down in the upcoming weeks or so. I say this, and then probably, you know, tomorrow it's going to go, you know, skyrocketing up to like 3k. But anyways, guys, let's just get to the next area, which is going to be the honing mats. And we'll see what the honing mats are going at the moment. Now, tier 2 and tier 1 mats, they were accelerated early on. They were elevated to like 2 or 3G here. Now they've come back down, so that's kind of interesting. Honey Leap Stones have dropped back as well. Crystallized, Destruction, and Protection Stones are still at 3G. Nothing really much has changed. Honor Leap Stones have gone down to being cheaper again. Basic, Araya, and Simple are pulling back slightly as well, given that was 16G each before. And Obliteration Stones have pulled back from 23 to 18. Solid Graces are now below 20G. Greater on Leap Stones at 23. A lot of the support mats are still going back, especially if it's Legendary or Epic. Superior Arrayers have dropped from 36 to 28, so I guess there's an oversupply of it, or people are stopping honing, so they don't need it too much anymore. And yeah, that's been pretty much it. Now, Soul Blessings below 100G. Honor Shard Pouches, they're cheaper than Life Shard Pouches, which is pretty out there, as Harmony Shard Pouches are more expensive in the green area. But I think that will change. Obviously, the blue pouches you can see here, Life Shard Pouches medium, the same as large. I think the Shard Pouches these days are becoming more cheaper and cheaper as people need less and less of them to hone up. So I think they're just going to go down. I mean, you remember when Life Shard Pouch was about 600, 800G, now they're like 390 basically. And as you can see here, like, it's been very, very volatile as well. I'd say still same thing as I said before. 2 tier 1s, 2 tier 2 this week, because that's where you get most of your money from. And Sidereal Energy, it's gone up to 700k. But, you know, Sidereal Energy is just going to be a really RNG thing where people who can buy gold are realistically the only ones that can get it, basically, as well. Next up, we're going to go to Consumables, so Combat Supplies. We'll see how that goes, basically, as well. For recovery items, Elemental HP Potions are skyrocketing up. Maybe it's time to either sell some or, you know, make some more, because 50G is insanity. I mean, it's only gone up by about 8G in the last few days. I feel like it could be... I don't believe it's more players coming to the scene. I think a lot more people are using HP Potions. Next up, we got the Offensives. I'm going to say they're probably going to... They've gone up slightly, and with Destruction Bombs coming back to 30G or so. But you can see here, it's only in the last 5 days they've started to come back up. Could it be like people are running out of grenades and bomb boxes now that people have to make them, and people are looking to AH to buy them? Potentially, we'll never know. With flares kind of stayed the same. A lot of these things have stayed the same mostly. I'm not sure how anyone got a gold cell on Lutera's Horn. That's interesting. Someone got a gold cell in there. I literally cannot believe that. Okay? I literally cannot believe someone actually got a gold cell off. Like, you know, someone was selling gold via Lutera Horn. Very unorthodox. But you can see here, not many of the, like, some of these combat items are not, you know, liquid. Sprinter's robes are always going to be liquid because people need them for the guild for guild stuff. Next up, we're going to go to the cooking, obviously, for the food. Is tier 2 food more than tier 3 food? Well, I'm going to say right now, tier 2 green food is more than tier 2 blue food, which is a very big problem. Also, going to say, this is actually really odd. I can't believe it's the same price. Like, who buys it? Okay, like, honestly, who buys this sort of stuff? Because they're actually getting sales, okay, believe it or not. Okay, they are getting sales, which is just bewildering to me. Next up, we're going to get into the engravings. And we'll see how engravings are going at the moment. Now, engravings, we're going to go to greens. Like I say, with greens, this is the first time that I've actually seen a green at 1G. But you can see with greens, they are pulling back slightly, actually, because normally I see one in triple digits by this time. But they're pulling back slightly. But I gotta say, a lot of the rarer ones, I think someone has been upping the price deliberately or buying all of them out and upping the price deliberately, but you can't do that anymore. So I guess, you know, basically a lot of people putting their prices up really, really high, but you can see here, no one's biting. Realistically speaking, like, the highest that people, you know, bought one for has been, like, below 1K, so I think a lot of these are going to go unsold. I think a lot of these people are dreaming as well. They're going to sell it for 2K because no one buys them. I mean, you can check the average day prices as well on these sort of items. Like, even though they're listed quite highly, how many people are buying them? Not many. So you can always go to the average day price and be like, hey, wait a second, like, this ain't legit. The blue ones, I gotta say, be surprised at the blue ones as well that I haven't gone to triple digits super quick either. I feel like some of these are just pulled back. Like, realistically, all these green and blue books, like, you just can wait and be patient to eventually get it for 20 to 30G. Now, epics as well. Obviously, a lot of them are going to be 1G because epics just drop so consistently over and over again. I mean, you can see a lot of class ones are very cheap. Great, you can see here, like, you know, even though they're like, they sold for, like, they are 330G, some of them are pretty cheap. The Slayer ones are always going to be super expensive, so just be aware of that as well, because they just recently come out. Now I'm going to go to Legendaries, and I gotta say, Legendaries, they're starting to become like epics as well, given the fact that a lot of them are quite cheap now. And you can see here, like, you can get some pretty decent ones for under 4 digits, which is, you know, compared to back in the old days, probably this time last year, it's incredible to even get one under four digits, especially a good one as well. Looking at it here, well, like I say, a lot of them are quite cheap as well. I was trying to see if I can find any expensive ones. I guess heavy armor's gone up. Heavy armor's gone up by, I think, yeah, I was going to say 3 times, but, you know, you can see here that not many people are going to buy it. As you can see, the average price, like, is pretty low. I gotta say, overall, the only ones that are really, really high are just the Slayer ones, to be honest. Like, the Slayer ones are really high. Everything else is quite low. Grudge is below 6K for the first time in quite a while. And I guess so overall, I said this before, I said this again, you can just probably wait at this stage for these items to get lower and lower. I think at this stage, I think there's more supply than people actually wanted to have these, basically. Next up, we're going to go to pets and skins. And with pets and skins, you should just probably expect the fact that a lot of these aren't going to be liquid. I mean, we went through, like, all the other days, and you can see here that no one's willing to budge in the skins market or pets market to drop their prices, given that the gold price is now a lot lower, and they've gone a lot lower, and people have bought sets previously thinking it was just going to rise up. But now, you know, they're trying to sell their stuff, but no one's buying because they're just like, oh, we can just wait for it and buy it for less with our blue crystal, you know, our gold. Basically, we can buy it with our gold at like 8K rather than spending 25K now. And you can see this with a lot of the issues here. You can see here, there's just nothing. And I think the people selling the skins have got to give up at this stage because they're not winning at this moment. On the other side of the pet markets, well, if you can see right now, the people who had all of that, you know, the skins and stuff like that, or the pets and stuff like that, are giving up, okay? They're giving up. And also as well, what I've noticed as well, which might start to become a new thing as well, is that there's no cat selection chests anymore. So these cats like Nerin and stuff like that will start probably getting a lot higher in value, if I'm going to say that myself. Probably will get a lot higher. Now you can see there's a lot of pets here, and they've gone down given the gold prices as well, which is good to see because, realistically speaking, someone has to take the loss eventually. And even though you take the loss now, it's just like you're never going to get someone trying to buy it for 30k. Okay, it's going to be you're going to be waiting a very, very long time. It's better to take the loss now rather than having, gold locked up in an asset that you realize maybe after you've quit the game, basically. Next up, we're going to go into the gems. So gems, gems, gems. So tier 3 gems. I'm going to say tier 3 gems and tier 2 gems. I think this is all good now, by the way, with these gem chests, because previously when I saw that 1 to 3 being the same price as 1 to 2, I was just sitting there going like, mate, everyone's going to buy those 1 to 3s very, very quickly. Next up, we're going to go to the gems overall after going to Deadeye. We're going to see what we've got here as well. Well, we're going to have to check the epic rank. It's going to be legendary and it's going to be tier 3, because otherwise we're going to get some bad stuff. And we're going to go into the recent prices as well to get an idea of what the recent prices are for these gems. Now you can see here, obviously the later ones are a lot higher. Obviously the level 9s, level 8s. We're just going to go to the level 7s to see where we're at. And 8.3k seems to be the new platform. So basically it hasn't changed too much. We'll go into the relics as well to see how everything's going with the relics. Probably have the DPS gems dropping below 400k. And obviously the cooldown gems, we had one drop below 100k. I mean, I didn't think my bet would be right last week where we had something dropping below 6 digits, but here we go. And the gem market, I say, is going to go lower and lower and lower. I believe this is just due to the release of the Ebony Cube as well, which does drop a bit of gems, and more people coming into boss rush and stuff like that with their boss rush tickets and just getting a ton of gems, and everyone's just at level 10 at this stage, and probably a lot of people would just raid logging at this stage in Lost Ark where they've got nothing to do because they've got level 10 gems everything, and pretty much they're just rolling the RNG. Next up, we're going to go to the relic accessories. So as you can see here, obviously the relic accessories are obviously some gold selling still going on. I mean, let's just put overall anything in this area, like 1 mil is gold selling. I'll probably say most of the actual relic prices may be selling more down in this area, like down in the 5 digits. Because I feel like all of this is gold selling or gold trading at this time, because like some of these are just absolute trash accessories and people trying to get so much for them. Now this could be a good one. 75k. There's a few good ones here as well. So 75k seems to be like, some of the best in slot ones. Maybe you get some good ones here as well. Yeah, gravity training. Spirit absorption, probably not that great. But you can see here, there's some decent ones for like 60k and stuff like that. I mean, you can start seeing here, this is where like, you get your actual people who are actually selling it, not gold sellers and stuff like that. You probably will get a few gold sellers here and there, especially at this area here where the things aren't that great. But as you can see, most of these aren't gold selling. So basically, if you can get a good relic piece, about 55k if you need it. I'm going to say right now with relic pieces and stuff like that, if you get decent actual engravings, you don't have to go dipping into getting a top tier engraving, given the fact that you go to Ancient, for example, and, getting a +6, Igniter Hitmaster, like that, like this, for example, almost perfect stats, you could get, quite high as well. And you can see here, like, a lot of the top Ancient ones are selling very, very well. I mean, you can tell some of these aren't gold selling either. Like, you can tell this one's gold selling. But you can tell a lot of these aren't gold selling either, given they have class things on it as well. A bit surprised that someone's trying to sell this at 750k, given the fact it's got a +3 attack power reduction. But this one's very good as well, +1 movement speed reduction with high specialization. But you can tell the gold sellers as well. There's a few gold sellers that are mixed in between these, but there's also some really, really good ones where it's just, that's worth the price and stuff like that. Like, for example, this one, sorry, my bad, is worth the price for support, given the fact Expert Full Bloom, movement speed 1. This one I'm a bit surprised about because it has attack power 3 for a DPS ring. This one, is really, really good. As you can see here, like, even though it's 81, it's got +1 whatever. And this one is probably best in slot, I guess, say, for some classes as well, 500k. But you can see here, like, there's a lot less gold selling, as per se. But I guess as you get deeper into the secondary market, where, like, it's not perfect, but you can see definitely some gold selling here as well, where people's trying to sell, like, 51s and stuff like that with this shit, and that's gold selling. But you can see, like, actual good pieces still up here as well for 6 digits. Can you get some extra, some decent pieces at less than 6 digits? I mean, for this one, geez. Like I said right now, I have no idea who sold this, but a best in slot ring for 680k, there are definitely bargains out there that you can pick up. I think basically as well, you can pick up some bargains in this market as well. You can see a lot of people are selling these as well. There may be some gold selling, but like I say, overall, a lot of these don't tend to be gold selling at all. Next up, we're going to check the ability stones. And we're going to check how, I guess, gold selling has infected this market quite considerably. But let's check how these are going at the moment. So I'm just double checking to make sure. I gotta say, Raid Captain, Grudge, and Adrenaline have made a bit of a return. And actually, I gotta say here right now, like, geez, Raid Captain and Ambush Master has rocketed up. Like, if you got any of these ability stones, you might as well just pick them out now. I think a lot of people are trying to go for that 9-7 cut at this stage. So that's gold ceiling at this point, I gotta say right now, but it's still going up. Geez, 2.1k. Jeez, I guess ability stones have just rocketed up. Like, completely rocketed up. Jeez, I gotta say 4k? This is insanity, I'm gonna say. Absolute insanity for an ability stone. I guess at the moment, I think a lot of people are trying to go for that 9-7 ability stone. I think everyone's really got their best of accessories, meaning accessories, like, top tier accessories. Someone hitting it for 80k or 60k is absolute insanity. I'm just sitting there going, like, holy moly. So that means a lot of people are putting their money into those ability stones trying to get a 9-7 cut. And given how low a 9-7 cut is, that's where we're at. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today for State of Economy. Nothing much has really changed. I am thinking of shelving the series at the moment, given the fact that Diablo 4 and stuff like that is coming up, and probably put out more Diablo 4 guides. So if you guys want some of those, feel free to put in. And yeah, see you guys next time. See you guys later. Peace out. Bye.